Oh!
Seems like this would be a super appropriate time to talk about what I keep in my toolbox on my Radar 135. Hey, what's going on? It's Matt. Seem to be doing videos that have a lot of relevance lately, like the My 2 Cents in dealing with customer service. And so if you watched the last video, you do know that I ripped my PD drive out of my Radar 135. And, you know, if you look on that video, I'll play a quick clip here. You can see where I reached in and out to get the toolbox. And this is it right here. And I thought I'd go over what's inside this thing. Now granted, this is specifically for the Helix PD that Wilderness makes. There's a couple of key tools in here. So if you have a different pedal drive or just a different kayak in general, make sure that these fit your particular pedal drive or just your kayak in general. Now, if you haven't seen these things, these are the Plano 3400s. They are open compartment and they are watertight. There is some Velcro on the bottom. I happen to Velcro these to the inside of my hull. So this is the male part, hence the kind of prickly part, and this is the female part. And the reason why there's a female part is because I kind of stack my first aid kit right on top of it. This gets stick to the inside of the hull of the kayak with another piece of female Velcro, and it sticks and it doesn't move. But let's talk about the toolkit. So like I said, these are 3 hatches. They're watertight. You can see the gasket seal. I think they're about, I don't know, $8 or $9 on Amazon or Tackle Warehouse. Let's get into the contents. Now, you saw a brief video on this. This is the Seguru moldable glue. You know, honestly, this will not fix anything in a bind on the water, but if you were doing it overnight and you needed to glue something together, or if you had a hole in your kayak, you could patch this the night before and basically let it cure, and then you would have a watertight seal on your kayak. Like I said, I probably wouldn't do this on the bottom of the hull, but I would do it on the top of a hull. Say like, I don't know, if you got a crack in it somehow the night before and you're spending the night and you're doing a 2-day tournament, whatever it may be, or you're fishing with your buddies on a camping trip. So take a look at this stuff. I'll link the video somewhere up here on this stuff. It's awesome. Next up, I have a hank of paracord, and this is the Titan survival cord. This is a little bit different than just your prototypical paracord. There are 3 strands in here. One is a wax jute, another one is a copper wire, and the other one is monofilament, believe it or not. It's 20-pound monofilament. So you can pull this apart and use it for finer things, but paracord in general is just a good thing to have. If you watched Chris tow me back, I have a larger hank of paracord that I keep in my black pack. So this is just for little odds and ends stuff, but keep it in this toolbox if you can. Well, that's what I do at least. Next up is a small knife. This is a Kershaw Shuffle. You know, you never know when you're going to need a little knife or a little blade. This thing is extremely inexpensive, has a bottle opener. This can act as a screwdriver, but you really don't need it because I have a screwdriver in here. But this is a good thing to have just in case you need something super sharp to either kind of, I don't know, shimmy something out of or cut something. Next up is a flashlight. Keep the batteries charged on this. This one actually turns into a little lantern if you pull it out, and basically there's a signal light in there as well. Let's get into the hex keys. There are 2 that I keep in here, and they serve 2 different purposes, and this is specifically for the Helix PD drive. This big sucker actually will take on and off the pedals. Now, I have the upgraded pedals, and one of the things that happens a lot in pedal kayaks, it doesn't matter what brand it is, pedals do come off. So if you don't have a way to kind of get them back on there and tighten them, you're kind of SOL in the water, and you'll be paddling back. So I keep one of these in the toolbox as I drop it on the floor. And this is a different size. Now what this one will do is this one will actually unlock the head unit and the base unit of the actual Helix PD drive. I don't know what size these are, and a lot of tool guys are like, why don't you know the size of those things? I don't, because I have tons and tons of these in the garage, and I literally just like found the two that fit. So those are two crucial items specifically for the Helix PD drive that I think you should have in there. Let's keep moving on. A lighter. Now, a lighter would come in handy if you kind of, I don't know, needed some work to kind of mold some things together, or if you had some, you know, electrical issues and you needed to heat up the shrink wrap again, or whatever it may be. But keeping a lighter on board is never a bad idea. Next up, I have this little janky pair of pliers. And the reason why I like these is because, one, they're spring loaded, but two, they're so small that they can get into little places. And on a drive, you're going to need those. Now, you don't have much leverage with these just because of the size of them, but I do like it because how small it is, and it does fit into the 3400. Last and not least, and this is what I used specifically in the last video when these little bad boys popped off. This is what came off. There's two of them. There are two little latches. Spoke to Wildy. They're actually sending me the upgraded retrofit kit for it, which actually, instead of having it just kind of screw into the actual drive, there's actually a bolt on the other side, so it's a little bit more sturdy. And I got two sets of them, and when I get both of those sets, one will actually go on to fix the actual drive, but the other one will go in this little toolbox that I have. This last little item though, this is a screwdriver, and I happen to love these things. They're a little Stanley screwdriver. No, they're both not a Phillips. If you take it out, there is a flat head on the other side. They slide right in. It's long enough that you can get good leverage on it. This is just a larger size with a larger flat head on the other side. Now, because these were, you know, little screws, I was able to screw it back into the drive a little bit, but obviously it didn't stick because you saw it pop off. This is a must, and not just for a pedal drive, but there are tons of things that this driver will fit on any kayak, on any reel too as well. So this is something that I think is a must to have in your kayak toolkit. Now, this thing is relatively small, right? And you can get a larger one where you can put larger tools in, but let's be honest here. You know, I was lucky enough just to have one of those brackets that I could still screw in, but if the other one was there too, I probably would have, you know, taken another 30 minutes screwing that other one back in, and it would have just both popped out. So this is really for quick fixes. And I think a larger toolkit, if you bring that on the water, you're really kind of looking at longer term fixes, and you're better off just kind of getting back on land and back to your home garage and setting everything up. But these things are a must. Take a look at them. I will do my best to link everything in the description down below. Most of the stuff, I think all the stuff you can buy on Amazon. But this is a great thing to have, and it's always in my kayak. It never leaves. And I'm telling you, the Velcro to the inside of the hull is the way to go. Thanks for watching these things. Hopefully this one was helpful. I will do a quick video once I get the parts for the Helix drive for the replacement retrofit. But this, like I said, is specifically those two hex keys will essentially only fit the Helix PD drive for the Wilderness system. So if you have a native propel or something else, make sure you've got the right tools in there. Be safe on the water. Thanks for watching these things, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.